4 operating systems sharing the same kernel, the same package repositories, the same release schedule, the same security support timeline, and the same underlying base. Install any of them and the machine underneath is identical. The only difference is what appears on screen when the desktop loads. One offers more customization options than most users will ever discover. Another runs on hardware old enough to have shipped with a different operating system entirely. The third one every performance benchmark tested, booting fastest, using the least memory, and consuming the least processing power of any option available. And the fourth exists to preserve a desktop experience that the project it came from abandoned over a decade ago, forking the original code rather than accepting the replacement. 4 interfaces on the same foundation, where the real question is not which operating system to run, but which philosophy about how a desktop should behave matches how someone actually works. Kubuntu ships the desktop environment that spent years fighting a reputation for being bloated and resource-hungry, then quietly became one of the most efficient options available. Independent benchmark testing ranked it second in boot time, second in memory usage, and second in processor consumption, behind only the option specifically designed to be the lightest. The reputation and the reality no longer match. Every visual element on screen is customizable. Panel positions, widget placements, layout configurations, transparency effects, animation behavior, icon themes, color schemes, and window decorations all adjust independently. The file manager supports split view, tabbed browsing, and document preview. Phone integration connects mobile devices for notifications, file transfer, and messaging directly from the desktop without installing additional software. But the customization depth that attracts experienced users creates the same problem for everyone else. Settings spread across multiple locations rather than sitting in a single unified panel. Someone arriving from a simpler environment encounters options they did not know existed for features they may never use, and the density of choice can feel less like freedom and more like a configuration burden. Applications built on the competing graphical toolkit do not always match the visual theme, creating inconsistency when the web browser or image editor looks different from every other application on screen. For anyone where maximum control over every visual and functional element of the desktop matters, where the depth of customization represents capability rather than complexity, accepting that the interface flexible enough to configure everything is the same interface overwhelming enough to make finding a specific setting feel like searching through someone else's filing system. Xubuntu ships the desktop environment that has not dramatically changed in over a decade and considers that a feature rather than a limitation. The interface follows traditional conventions from an era before desktop environments started reimagining how application menus, taskbars, and system trays should work. Top panel with menus. Bottom taskbar for running applications. Right-click context menus that behave exactly as expected. The visual language comes from a period when the operating system was supposed to stay out of the way rather than express a design philosophy, and the project has maintained that approach through every trend that followed. The customization sits in a middle ground between the maximum depth of the previous option and the minimal options of the lightest alternative. Panels are configurable. Themes apply consistently because the applications and the desktop share the same graphical toolkit. The experience is predictable in a way that means someone who configured it 6 months ago returns to find everything exactly where they left it because nothing about the environment changed between updates. And here is the honest tension underneath the stability. The default appearance looks dated. Not broken, not ugly, but visibly from a different era of desktop design. Achieving a contemporary look requires manual theming effort that the environment itself does not guide users through. Modern features like phone integration, desktop effects beyond basic compositing, and the visual polish that newer environments ship by default are absent entirely. For anyone where a traditional desktop that has proven itself reliable over more than a decade matters more than visual modernity, where the middle ground between maximum customization and minimum complexity represents the balance they actually want. Accepting that the stability coming from conservative development is the same conservatism that makes the default installation look like it shipped 5 years ago. Lubuntu won every performance category in independent benchmark testing: fastest boot time, lowest memory consumption, lowest processor usage. Not by narrow margins, but by enough distance that the results described it as the clear winner across all fields. The desktop environment achieves this by shipping only essential applications, running minimal background services, and refusing to include features that consume resources without directly serving a task the user initiated. The machine boots, the desktop appears, and the system waits for instructions rather than loading services the user did not ask for. The switch from the original lightweight framework to a modern toolkit in 2019 gave the project a foundation that maintains efficiency while using current technology rather than depending on an aging code base. But the performance advantage comes with a trade-off that defines the entire experience. The application set is sparse. The visual appearance is utilitarian. Theming options are basic. The desktop makes no effort to impress anyone looking at it for the first time, because every resource spent on visual polish is a resource unavailable for the applications actually running. Configuration requires more manual intervention than any other option in this comparison, with the environment assuming the user already knows what they want installed and how they want it arranged, rather than guiding them through sensible defaults. For anyone where raw performance from hardware that other options have effectively abandoned matters, where a desktop environment that consumes the absolute minimum resources represents exactly what an interface should do, accepting that the Spartan experience, stripping away convenience features, is the same discipline keeping it the fastest option available on identical hardware. Ubuntu shipped with one specific desktop environment from 2004 until 2011. Then the upstream project that built it released a dramatically redesigned replacement that changed how application menus worked, how windows were managed, and how the entire desktop was organized. The community split between people who embraced the change and people who refused to accept it. The project that refused forked the original code, preserving the interface exactly as it was, and continues maintaining it as a living desktop environment rather than an archived snapshot. Installing this option in 2026 feels like using the default installation from 2010, not because the project stopped developing, but because the development focused on refining what worked rather than reimagining it. The workflow relies on muscle memory, built over more than 20 years of the original environment's existence. Top panel with application menu, places menu and system, indicators. Optional bottom panel for window switching. Desktop icons, right-click menus. Every convention from the era before desktop environments started competing on visual innovation remains intact, and here is the tension that the benchmark results surfaced. The reputation as a lightweight alternative is outdated. Independent testing showed memory usage and processor consumption comparable to the option with maximum customization, surprising testers who expected substantially lower figures given the desktop's heritage from a less resource-intensive era. The environment has added features over the years, and those features cost the same resources regardless of which visual style they wear. For anyone where the specific workflow from that era represents exactly how a desktop should behave, where the preservation of conventions that newer environments abandoned carries genuine value, accepting that the nostalgia keeping users loyal is for an experience that no longer carries the performance advantage it once did. Kubuntu for anyone where maximum control over every visual and functional element of the desktop matters, where independent benchmarks showing it performs substantially better than its historical reputation. Suggested confirm the environment has evolved beyond the bloat it was once known for, accepting that the depth of customization, creating its greatest strength, is the same depth making the settings architecture feel like someone else's filing system. Xubuntu for users, where a traditional desktop proven reliable, over more than a decade, sitting in the middle ground between maximum customization and minimum complexity, represents the balance they actually want, accepting that the conservative development keeping it stable is the same conservatism, leaving the default appearance visibly dated. Lubuntu for anyone where raw performance on hardware that other options have effectively abandoned matters, where winning every benchmark category confirms the lightest option available on identical foundations, accepting that the discipline stripping away convenience and visual polish is the same discipline making it the fastest. Ubuntu MATE for users, where the preserved workflow from an era before desktop environments started competing on visual innovation carries genuine value, where the specific conventions, newer environments abandoned matter more than modern features, accepting that the lightweight reputation from that era no longer matches current benchmark results. Every choice is a trade-off. At least now you know what you're trading.